This is how Cyrillic alphabet looks. As you can see, on the top row there are letters. And on the bottom row, for each letter, in blue square brackets, there is a close sound in English language. Sometimes it's a combination of sounds, but I think that works. I'm gonna quickly go through all of the letters. And yeah. Red are vowels, and black are consonants and two special symbols. This is a special symbol, and this is a special symbol. This letter is supposed to read as A, as in car. This letter is supposed to be read as B, as in bear, beer, bear with me. This letter is supposed to be read as V, as in vowel. Actually, like these two sounds similar to V sound and V letter. Next one is supposed to be read as G, and I specified as in gun, just because I think G and J are not even close to G. So the blue is still the G sound, and gun is an additional. Next letter is D, as in door, as in dork. Next vowel is yeah, and technically it's the closest to yeah. Yeah. The next letter looks really close to yeah, but the sound is different. It's ya, and it's literally a combination of Y and O for you. This weird looking bug letter is J, and it is close to both J and G. It's something in between. J. We actually learn it as the sound that B makes. J. For you it's bzz, I think, bzz. But we also associate it with the bug, with the bee, and the sound they make in our language. J. And the last one in the first row is Z, and it's close to Z. Z as in zoo. Let's do the second row. This is a vowel, and it is pronounced as E, and meat or meat, it's the same E. I wrote that as double E, but the second one is small. These also look similar, but this is actually a vowel, and this is a consonant, but it's like it has its own rules and is a lot of time used in sounds for vowels. So I would say it's something in between, logically, but technically it is still a consonant and it is pronounced as y. And it is a sound you make in a combination of letters, but only the first one. It's just y. And that's why only Y is blue and there is an arrow on top of it. It's just the y sound in yeah, y. Next consonant is just k, k. Next one is L, just general L. And this is how L is written, L is typed, but I often type L as just a simple house, because it's simpler than to write this thing. This is supposed to be a hint. I hope that works. Next one is M, as in mama. The next one is N, as noon. And next vowel is O. I guess OH works. This is P. P. And here can be some confusion, but yes. Next one is actually an R. And not the R one, just really harsh R. You have to roll it. But yes, this is P and this is R. Let's go for the third row. And this is S sound. And it's close to your S as in sound. This one is T, just general T. And this vowel is U, as for you, as in mood. So I wrote double O. It'll be fine. This is F, and it's both TH and I guess F, your F, works just as fine. This is H sound, not X, not X, just H. This is T, T, as in combination of TS, but more merged, even more merged. Next one is Ch, as in chair or child. This one is Sh, as in shooketh. And this one is the Borsh letter, because it is a combination of even more sounds. The closest one is Sch, but it is pronounced as Sh. And you should know the Borsh word. Now, special symbols, both, they don't have any sounds, and they are just means for creating other sounds or consonants, mostly, or for separating a consonant and a vowel, or for softening a consonant. But yeah, they don't have any sounds. You cannot pronounce them. They do have a name though. This is tвердый знак, which translates to like harsh syllable. And this one is мягкий знак, which translates to soft syllable. Now this vowel has a unique sound. I cannot think of an example, but the pronunciation should be ы. There's a word мы, char, we, мы, ы. This vowel is as in eh. This one is you, the combination as well. And this one is, the last one is yeah, as a combination also. And actually there is a logic behind combination of sounds in some vowels, which I will explain soon. Here is vowels classification, and let's say that some vowels sound similar, and that's why I paired them with each other. However, as you could see in our alphabet practice, some vowels do have two sounds, but there is only one letter for two sounds. However, in transcription, which I will write in square brackets and in black pen, this will be like the truly Russian transcription for words. In this transcription, there are two letters for some vowels. And yeah, the blue ones highlighted those that have only one sound, and the green ones two sounds. Now back to pairs. These sound as a and ya, o and yo, u and you, e and ye, y and e. Those ones that are written as two letters for you, for example, letter ya, which for you, the blue transcription is yeah. We can transfer it to a similar Russian transcription, which goes the y sound and a. And as you can see here, the y sound and y letter comes in clutch for this explanation. And yeah, I think that goes pretty simple with each other. Now, like I said, yes, these are pairs, but only these letters in pairs have y sound in them, and sound like and are transcribed as two sounds. Now let's go to the rule that it's not even an actual rule for us, but more of the way some letters work with each other. And as I understood, this is a rule that might not even exist in your language. And for us, it's like a generic one. But yes, if you combine a consonant with a blue vowel, which has only one sound in transcription, nothing will change, and the consonant will sound as default one. However, if you combine a consonant with the green vowel, your consonant will be softened. That's not technically, that's like the generic one, but if you combine the consonant with E, it will work as well. So I should have written as like the right table, but let's name it like this. And the example is N consonant plus A vowel. This will work as, and this will be read as na, which are all default sounds. However, if you combine N, let me just add E here. If you combine N and yeah, which is the green one, yes, transcribed as y and e, and y sound in combination with the consonant softens it, and the consonant comes a soft version, which is n, and yeah, yeah. And the soft version of a consonant is written with the apostrophe after in transcription. So the same thing will work with E. It's N plus E like a little exception. The result will be N, E, Ni. You can also add a softening special syllable to this rule, because it's its job to soften consonants. So N plus special softening syllable, which has absolutely nothing in transcription. There is no sound for it. It just becomes ny, a soft N. What if there is a consonant plus green vowel plus harsh syllable? So the example, you want the green vowel and plus, which green? U plus this, correct? The combination, the overall combination, wouldn't exist at all. That's not something that you write. The general rule for special syllables is not the rule, but the general sense for them is that they are located after a consonant. They are made for separation of a consonant and the vowel that usually follows. Or, like, the usual case is a consonant plus softening sound, and this is like the end of the word end. The end of the word. Word ending. And like right, and this is a ch, and that's all. That's all it is. There is a such word as, she's translated as to bump into someone, for example, or just to move in. Several definitions. And as you can see, the harsh syllable separates consonant and a vowel, and v is not being softened by ye. V stays harsh. V, ye, e, vje, at. And there is also, in this example, a softening syllable, and it just makes a soft. So there is a pause here, like a separation. V, je, vje, hať. Now we're gonna move on to the basic consonant classification and more advanced consonant classification. But don't worry, there is a whole chart I did for better understanding. So the basic classification for consonant, 3 different groups. First of all, you divide consonant into sonorous and muffled. They can be paired. They can have the similar sound and have like one in sonorous, one in muffled. For example, the sound b and p. The only difference is the amount of air you put into these letters. So b is located in sonorous group, and p is located in muffled group, and they are paired by the similarity. And this is actually the third group. But they're actually those that don't have pairs and are just in sonorous or in muffled group. Now, within the first division, there are other subgroups. And some consonants are solid by default, but they can become soft. Just like I explained in vowels classification in the generic vowel softening rule. However, some of consonants are always solid and cannot be softened, and some of consonants within the sonorous, muffled, and both group are always soft. Let's move to the chart. The graph. So yes, the consonants are divided into sonorous, the main division, right? Sonorous and muffled. But within sonorous and muffled, there is subgroup of paired because they sound similar. So the sonorous are N, M, L, R, and Y, and they don't have pairs. Muffled, they don't have pairs, are H, S, Ch, and Sh. And then there are pairs, sonorous, muffled, and they are B, P, V, F, G, K, D, T, J, Sh, and Z, S. They sound similar. And actually, if we are considering only phonetic sounds in a transcription, these letters can merge from muffled to sonorous by the sonorification rule, and from sonorous to muffled by the muffling rule. And that's why they are paired, and I would put them in between of these main basic groups. Within the basic classification, there is a subgroup of always solid consonants, and there are 3 of those: S, J, and Sh. And there are there is a group of always soft consonants, which are Ch, Sh, and Y, but I separate Y into, I would separate Y into its own group because the softening of this consonant is used as a function in vowels, and it is like a special one within the consonant group. And all those that are highlighted pinkish color, they are solid by default, and they can become soft. They, in combination of Y and a vowel, they can become another transcription sound. So N is soft by default, right? But N plus, for example, yeah, the generic rule of Voltron, N and Y merge and become soft N. And the result is N and A, Nya. So technically, N as a letter can be the default N, can be soft N. This is the group that doesn't have any pair. Then we go into sonorous paired. Let's do B. B by default. B, soft one. And by a special rule, B can transfer into muffled group in it can be P sound. I think it can also become soft too, but is just an example to understand why they are paired. Well, for those that are always solid, they are dark blue color. Dark blue color. Always solid is for like the one without pair is ts, correct? And it can only be ts sound. However, if it is a paired one, j sound, it can be j by default. It cannot be softened, but it can also be transferred into muffled sh, just like sh is sh by default, but can be transferred into j. And about always soft, well, they don't have any pairs, so they will just be soft by default. And that will be the only sound that they can produce. So ch will be only ch, and it is soft by default, and sh can be read as only sh. Wow, such cool letters, so simple. I'm thinking of anything I might have missed, but I think that's all about classification of consonants. We can move on to vowels rules. This will be just a repetition. I didn't change anything. I think I gave you good information on last streams, but all vowels rules are mostly connected with accent vowels and non-accent vowel. So in one word, the general rule is that there is only one accent vowel, and there can be as many as you want of non-accent ones. And all rules are connected to this fact. The first one is a connection between a and o, and non-accent a goes a bit smaller in sound, is transferred into small a, but non-accent o sounds the same as non-accent a, which is also small a. This is an example. Облако, which means cloud. And the transcription for облако should be accent o, and all accent vowels are default O, ob, l, a. A is non-accent, so you just make it a bit small when you pronounce it. O, blah, k. O, which is non-accent, is the same as non-accent a, which is also a small a. And it is, the overall pronunciation is облако. Small a and small a. Next rule is about a vowel being like located in the beginning of the word. And of course it is about non-accent e, because the accent e is still a no matter what. And the example here. The rule is the beginning non-accent e goes either towards e sound or towards e sound as you feel more comfortable pronouncing it. And the example is the word etage. Etage means a floor in a building. Floor 10. So the transcription for this word is etage. Etage. I go with e, but some people can pronounce this as etage. It is also correct. E, non-accent e, goes into e. E, a, accent a, and sh. And this will be the rule for a consonant. But basically, if it is ending and sonorous, it muffles down and becomes its muffled pair. And j goes into sh. And overall pronunciation will be etage, tash. And the next and last rule, it is still, by the way, the reduction rules, is about yeah and ya. Both non-accent ya and yeah are turned into e sound. However, if ya and yeah are non-accent but are located in the end of the word, they are still ya and still yeah. This is the only exception. And let's go for examples. For ya, which goes into e, the first word is мячи, which is plural for мяч, and it's basically balls. The pronunciation for мячи should go m and ya, m plus ya, right? Y makes m soft and disappears. So the result is mi, a, right? in theory. However, this is a rule that non-accent ya goes into E, so it will be me. E still makes M soft. Me, ch, E. Ichi. So there's a whole ass thought process going behind this. But yeah, let me actually leave it as M plus yeah, right? First step, M plus yeah. We go M soft and A. However, second step is ya is being turned into E. So next step, we go M and E, but E makes M soft because this is a rule. A consonant plus green plus E is a softened consonant. So it's me, E, and then it goes as default. Michi. This is only one word. Next word is мясной. So first we understand that M is being softened. Second, we understand that ya is a non-accent letter in this word. So ya goes into E. Then we combine these two, and it's me. No. Yeah. Everything else goes default. Мясной. Let's do the яйцо example. And яйцо means an egg. Яйцо, we see that O is accent and ya is non-accent. What happens? We understand that ya goes into E sound. So it's E, yeah. So everything else is default. Kinda simple. Itso. Let's do the last one. And the last one is японский. Which means Japanese. What is the thought process? We see that O is accent, ya is non-accent. We transfer ya into E sound. And we also see that there is E after a consonant. That we need to remember that a consonant plus E means a softened consonant. We notice that. So K plus E goes K, E. And then we write an overall transcription, which is E, P, O, Ipo, N, S, soft K, E, and Y. Японский. Now let's go for the next part of a rule, which is non-accent yeah that goes into E. Same example. The same type of examples. First word is леса. Which is plural for forest. No, it's horse. And one forest is лес. But we don't need less because we need a non-accent. Yeah, correct? So in lista, A is accent and yeah is non-accent. What is the thought process? First of all, we understand then no, that not accent yeah goes into E. Then we understand that both yeah and E are meant to soften the consonant before it. So L plus yeah. It's just for practice. It's soft L and E. And L plus E is the same soft L and E. Just for practice, I'm reminding the principle. And the end result should be L, E, Sa, Lisa, which is actually the same as you would pronounce this word. This word also exists, and it means a fox. Now let's go to the next word, which is бежать. бежать. The thought process. A is accent. Yeah, non-accent. That means that yeah goes into E. But both yeah and E soften the consonant before it. So B sound plus yeah or E. It don't matter. It don't matter. We are having the result of a sound B. 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 And we see that there is a special softening syllable in the end of the word. That means that B will be soft as well and pronounced as T. T. And the end result should be B. B. Sh. A. Accent A. Default A. And soft T sound. Бежать. Бежать. And бежать, by the way, means run. Next example is... Let's do the short one. Да. Thought process is simple. There is no consonant before yeah, so yeah just goes into E. And the end result is E. Da. Ida. Okay. And the small exception to this rule is that if ya and yeah are located in the end, they are still ya and yeah. We just have to remember that. And the examples for this are... The examples for this rule is number 1, the word баня. Ba. Yeah. What is the thought process behind reading? We see that A is accent, Ya is non-accent. However, Ya is located at the end. That means that Ya is still Ya. We just don't accent it, so it goes a bit smaller. It goes a bit smaller. And the ending transcription is Ba, A. Oh, I forgot about softening. Right. So let's repeat. A consonant plus a green type of vowel. What happens? N plus Y and A. N and Y combine and they merge as a Weltron and become soft N and A. Nya. Nya. And the result should be Ba, Nya, A. Banya. Let's do the next example. Next example is... Let's do pensia. 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 Pensia means
2 hours later.
I guess the translation is the same and the word is the same. Yep. Okay. Retirement payments from government. Exactly. What is the thought process behind reading this word? We see that accent is first yeah. What happens? We have p, a consonant, and a green vowel. The p sound is Voltroning with y sound and becomes yeah. Next step is to realize that there is another combination of this rule. There is S and E. S is being softened by E vowel. What happens after? We understand that there is ya, non-accent ya. However, it is still in the end of the word. And it stays ya. Ya stays ya. This goes smaller in sound. It is still the reduction rule, remember? So, the end result will be y, e, ye, n, t, i, ya. Pensia. Let's do the last example and let's choose more with the yeah at the end of the word. And mori is a C. There's a whole SC outside because it's raining. Let's go with the flow of thoughts. What we see. Accent is O, non-accent is yeah. However, it is located in the end of the word, right? So yeah stays yeah, but smaller. We also see that there is a consonant before yeah. What happens? Thank you for the follow. A consonant is power ranging with a green vowel and combining into a soft sound. Re. And of course, oh, wrong letter. And the result is re, re. And the end transcription should be more, the default, re, soft, and because it goes from yeah, which is located in the end of the word. So it's still yeah, but since it softened the R, it went into E in transcription, but we still kind of pronounce it as yeah. More. More. You can hear the... but it's close to the result transcription. More. More. And I think that is all for the basic generic rules of reduction. And we can see two small exceptions. And these two small exceptions are the combination of cha and sha. First of all, you have to remember that this is the only way the combination of these sounds work together, and there is no such thing as cha and no such thing as sha. No, it never happens. This is a rule of writing. But we're talking about non-accent cha and sha, correct? If a is non-accent in this combination, it also goes into e, which is similar to ya and yeah rule. So let's go through one example. The example will be площадь. Which is translated into a square as a street. For example, a red square. What is the thought process behind transcription? We see that O is accent, A is non-accent. However, this is the exception combination. That we have a combination of sha. A goes into E. D plus soft goes into D. Right? And then this will be the consonant sound that you in theory know already. Consonant rule that in the end of a word, the sonorous consonant is being muffled into its muffled pair. So d plus softening sound at the end of the word actually turns yeah. And the end result would be law default sh и площадь. And the second small exception is about these consonants. In combination with yeah. And these are always solid consonants. The exception rule is about combining sh and yeah, non-accent. By the way, non-accent. J and non-accent yeah, and c and non-accent yeah. Yeah goes into e. We just have to remember that. And again, accent yeah still stays yeah no matter what. We're all talking about the differentiation in sound if a vowel is non-accent. Every time. We have been talking about only non-accent ones. The specification. So the first example is цена, which is translated as a price. What is the thought process? We see that a is accent and ye is non-accent. We have this thing going on in transcription. Yeah, went into E sound. The same goes with the example of the word "застой", which means sixth. What happens? We see that ye is non-accent and o is accent, but ye is in combination with always solid. Ye is within the special combination. That means that she goes into three, but only within the brackets of a transcription. And the result should be everything else is default. These two letters can coexist only within the reality of a transcription. Because if you write this, you will get spanked by your teacher. Alright, I think I'm done with the vowels rules. Okay, let's go to the consonant rules and consonant exception to the rules. So there are only two main huge rules for consonant, but there are a lot of small exceptions towards these rules. The first rule is the rule of muffling, which applies to those consonants that are located in the middle of sonorous and muffled and up-aired, right? Those that are kind of in between. So this is a rule of muffling. Sonorous consonant can be muffled if it is located in the end of the word, and if muffled consonant goes after sonorous. So the muffling applies to this group, which can jump from sonorous, which sounds like the sounds of these letters can jump from sonorous to muffled and backwards. However, I have to mention that letters, the default letters, will always be sonorous or muffled, just like they are located here. The jumping concerns only sounds for these letters. So it's a reading rule. The alphabet rule is that these letters stay within these groups, no matter what. It's just about sounds. So pub, which is a pub, we see B, which is a sonorous consonant in the end of the word. And that means that B sound will be muffled and becomes P. And the end result will be pop. Pop. And we have a example. For example, this word, nosh, which means a knife. The thought process is the same. We don't care about accents since there's only one vowel, and this vowel is accent by default. But we see zh in the end. Zh is a sonorous consonant that can become muffled. Which sound can become muffled, right? So zh will become sh. And the end result will be n, o, and sh. Nosh. Oh, you cannot see it. But yes, I'm thinking about him right now. Alright, and let's move to the second part of the rule, which is sonorous consonant can be muffled if it is combined with muffled. If muffled goes after sonorous. So the example is the word автобус, which means a bus. And let's see. Let's transcribe. We see that the accent is O, and non-accent vowels are A and U, and they don't have any specific rules. They just they're being reduced in sound a little bit. However, we see combination of sonorous, there she is, and muffled. In this rule, T affects V, and V sound becomes F sound. So, what the combination will be F, T. And the result will be A, F, T, O accent, O, As a note, there is a consonant in the end of the word, and if it was a sonorous one, it also would be muffled. But it is S. And S is here. It is muffled already. It don't matter. Alright. Now we can move to the opposite rule, the rule of backwards, which I named sonorification, which is probably incorrect, but I go with it. I still go with it. So, this is the opposite rule, and in this rule, muffled can jump into this sound category, and this happens if muffled consonant goes before sonorous. So in the combination, the last letter basically affects the previous a lot of times. And in this rule, it is sonorous, and that means that the previous letter will become sonorous as well. So let's do the second. Word, which is rucksack, and it is translated as a backpack. Let's see. Accent is A. Non-accent vowel is U. We don't have any specific rules for this vowel. So, first of all, we see a combination of consonant and a green vowel. That means that we do have a Voltron situation. R is being combined with Y and becomes soft. R. The next situation we have is about sonorification rule. And the is here, and it's sonorous, affects K, which is here, and it is muffled. Thank you for the raid. So, a combination of K and Z will become G and Z. K goes into this because of the Z. Here it is. And in the end, we see that this letter is already muffled, so the muffling doesn't apply. And the end result is R, U, G, Da, K. Rucksack, rucksack, rucksack. Now, to this sonorification rule, there is one tiny exception. And this exception applies only to letter V. Only to this letter. And the rule is, if you see a combination of muffled consonant and V, which is sonorous, nothing will happen. Nothing will happen. V doesn't work in this rule. Cover will stay cover. And the example is квартира. Which means an apartment. Let's do the thought process. We see that accent is E and non-accent are us, so nothing complicated about vowels. However, we see the combination of T consonant and E, which can soften just like green vowel. And what will happen? T will become T and E will stay. Then we see a combination, the exceptional combination. We see the letter V that doesn't want to sonorificate, which is incorrect, but which doesn't want to give more air into muffled consonant before it. That means that cover stays as cover. But let me just give you a teacher's note, for example, right? About the same type of a rule. There is another combination of sonorous and muffled, right? However, R doesn't have a muffled pair. Let's see on the chart. This is a R letter we're talking about. No pair. And the consonant without pair, they are not being transferred into anything. They are unique and they stay sonorous. They stay as is. So no matter is R with muffled or with sonorous afterwards, it will stay sonorous. So in the end, we have a transcription of cover A T soft I ra. Kind of simple. Квартира. And the same applies to any other muffled consonant before V. They will stay as is. So there are 6 small exceptions for overall rules for reading consonants. And this is like the overall page, and I will just go through all of these with examples, and I will be back to this page. So first rule is a combination of these letters. Sometimes is read as the combination of these letters. If the combination of ch, t, and o, like the root, is present in a word, it will be read as sh, t, and o. So ch goes into sh sound. An example, there is this word, чтобы. You can see the root. That means that ch will be sh in transcription. But there is this word, Another example, and you don't see ch, t, and o in this word, which means that it will be pronounced without applying this exception. And dachnik will go into dach. E will soften n, e, and k. Dachnik. Ch will stay ch. However, there are 3 words with ch, the o, or ch, n, o root that will be transferred into sh sound. And the first word is конечно, second is вкусно, and the third is нарочно. So, general rule is about ch, t, and o, and this root being inside of a word. However, the same rule, exception rule of ch transferring into sh, can be applied to 3 words with a combination of ch, n, and o. Only 3 though. Second exception is with a combination of s letter and ch letter. They will be read as sh. The example is the word счастье, and we see the combination of s and ch. That means that s and ch will combine into one big Voltron of sh, and the word will be pronounced as счастье. However, let's go through the overall thought process behind the transcription, because I feel like this is not an easy word. And let's just do the счастье transcription. First of all, yes, we have this as an exception. So sch will be transferred into sh sound. Second, what do we see as ending letter? We see yeah as ending letter. And by the rule, yeah will stay as yeah, because it's ending. A closure, yeah. We also see this weird combination. What will happen to this consonant if it is separated by a special symbol with a vowel? Well, first of all, special symbol will make the consonant soft. This is the first step. Second step, the special symbol will play its role as a sort of separator. So it will be t sound, and yeah will stay as y and the special softening sound will soften the consonant by itself, and there will be no alternating between y and t anymore, since t is already soft. This is what will happen. So when, let's name it double softening, and when special symbol is being consumed for softening, the green letter, the green vowel, will stay in its default pronunciation. Oh, and transcription should be sh, a, s, t soft, a small pause, yeah. This is what will happen. Well, the second example is basic, but let's go through it as well. We see the combination of S and ch. We also see ya and ch. Ch is always soft. In combination, ch plus green letter the y sound will still be consumed. However, nothing will change since the sound for ch is already soft. So the result will be ch and o. And the end transcription is ch. Ch because we don't have ch, but the thing still applies, right? Ch, o, and t. Let's go into the third small exception, which is combination. And again, about the combination of letters. This huge combination of letters, most of the times will be read as this combination. So t, s and ya, er and t, s and ya will be read as ta. Not always. There will be a specific form of verb that will be read as is. But basically every time you see this combination, it will be the exception rule. So the example for this is a word. Oh, by the way, I didn't say the translation for this. Szczęście is happiness, and shot is a bill, electric bill. The example for this is a word учиться, which is to basically to teach myself to
self-teach. Self-teach. Self-taught.
Okay. Учиться. E is accent. What do we see? Non-accent. U and ya. Ya is ending. That means that ya will still be ya. Then we see the combination of ch and e. What does it mean? Nothing. Ch is already soft by default, so nothing will happen. And this combination will be pronounced by default, basically. Even though E is a softening vowel in the green zone. What else? Well, the exception rule. We see the combination, the long ass combination. This will be just transferred into S and A. Phonetically, and is U, Ch, I, Ca, Chica. Pretty easy if you ask me. And we'll have next rule, rule number 4. It is about these combinations of letters becoming long letter, long one letter sound, but literals. For example, sh will be long sh, sh will be long j, tc and dc will be long c. Examples for this rule: shit for sh, which goes into sh long, and shit means to yeah, so the transcription will be, you see that ch in combination of softening special syllable goes into soft one. Then we do see these. Sh is always solid, so it kind of affects E in phonetically, correct? And this will happen, but only in transcription. And yeah, the actual rule of long sh I looked it up, and I think long letters are marked like this in transcription, but I've never seen this mark when I was learning, so just sh, I guess, and small sh to mark that it is long. And the end will be sh, long sh, soft, shit, Okay. Or absolutely the same logic will be applied to combination of Z and J, and to combination of T and C and D and C. Let's actually transcript the word отцы, which is translated to plural others. Thought process. I see, Mimire. The thought process. We see U as accent and O as non-accent. Spicy. That means that O, non-accent, if you remember, will sound as A. Now we see a combination of TC. TC in combination will turn into long C. And the and transcription will be A, C, long, A. Отцы, отцы. Now, let's go to the next exception. That is about another combination of words that is too tiring to pronounce as is, so we decided we won't pronounce it. Some letters, at least. At least some letters. So, for the combination of these letters, let me write them. S, T, and N. Z, D, and N. R, D, and C. L, N, and C, and V, C, D, V. They are too complicated to pronounce. So, some letters lament, some letters disappear from transcription. And let's go to specific examples. This is so funny to me. So, S to N combination, we don't pronounce T. We don't. The word грустно, which is translated as sad. We pronounce it without T in the transcription is грустно. By the way, yeah, remember, U is accent, O is non-accent, O is being transferred into A. This word, известно, which is famous. We don't pronounce it. Accent, yeah. O in the end of the word, non-accent, goes into A. And the transcription will be известно. Известно. Yeah. V is being softened by Y. Yeah, we're having V as V plus Y, and it's all turning into soft V and E. Известно. Now the last example is the word участник, which means a member or a participant. We don't pronounce the, and the translation is default участник. Now it goes all the way through next examples. The N, D is not pronounced. Праздник. Поздно. Звездный. No D. No D for you guys. Then the combination of R, D, and C. No D at all. And the example is сердце. By the way, incorrect. Since we had a S plus Y moment, and S plus Y means that S plus Y, and S and Y combine into S and that's what happened. So the transcription is сердце. No D, still no D. And to the next one, солнце, no L, солнце. And let's transcript the infamous example, the infamous word. Which is pronounced as Здравствуйте. And this is translated as greetings. It can be used as an official hello and more official hello. That's why greetings, but technically it can be hello. I greet my friends with this word easily, even though we are not official with each other. Let's go through this one. Accent is A. Non-accent U and Y. Y is ending, so it's still Y. We have this weird combination, right? And in this combination, by the rule, we don't pronounce V. So с этого goes into с этого. We're having a combination of a consonant and a vowel in the end. The green highlight vowel. That means we are having a Voltron. Yeah. It's T plus Y. Yeah. And T becomes T. Here it is. And technically, we can go through the transcription already, because I tell you, it's not that complicated, just because there are no more rules. It is pronounced as this. Z, D, Ra, Dra. Then it goes Сатва, Nova, Сата, U, Y, C soft, and eh. And the end is здравствуйте. Not easy, but not as complicated as it seems. And now let's go through the last exception. And the last exception is about this letter turning this letter in a specific circumstances. These circumstances being placed. Thank you, Mirai. Placed between O and O, or between yeah and O. But not always. But not always. Let's go through examples. So, not always is basically, you have to remember when it doesn't apply. Yeah. No rule for this exception not performing. You just remember it. The exception to this exception. Easy, easy. Толково. Let's go through examples. Сегодня, which means, by the way, today. Сегодня среда. Today is Wednesday. We see, right? We see yeah, g, and o in this word. That means, and it is not an exception, we also see that O is accent. O is accent. Yeah is non-accent. And yeah is non-accent. Well, yeah is easy. Ending yeah stays as yeah. But we have a non-accent yeah, and we have to remember that non-accent yeah is butchered into e. I have to remember it, unfortunately. However, we have to also mention the Voltron between se and Voltron between nya. Oh my god, this is not Voltron, this is Power Rangers combining. But s plus y, e will be s soft and e, but yeah got turned into e. So it is s, e. Correct? And well, the Voltron behind n and ya is kind of easy. It's just n and a. Just like this. And the final word is the final transcription. By 5, what the fuck? I missed 4. The final transcription. Roll the drums. It's soft E. Его. It's still его, even if it's yeah. Even if yeah becomes E. V. O accent. The не soft. А. Сегодня. Сегодня. Mine is blown. Mine is blown. I think this is the hardest example, actually. The hardest one. Because next one is just... Кого? which means whom? Whom? What? What? And behind kowo is just one thought. It's just about the combination of o, ge, o, turning o, o. And the final translation is, oh no, actually I forgot that there is a non-accent o. So the first one is kao, and the second one is o non-accent, becoming a. And the final translation will be ka wo. Kawo. Mind right. Hell yeah. Actually, it's not something I should be proud of, right? Anyways, the words that are pronounced as you see, like as default, have to remember, nothing, no secret behind. It's just an exception to number 6 exception rule. So, for example, договор. Договор. Accent O here. We see ogo, but it's not being transferred into V, because we have to remember that we have 2 non-accent O's. What does it mean? We're having a lot of A's. Yeah, basically we can do the transcription already. Da ga for договор. See, the rule about consonants works even if the vowels become different sounds. Because the rule is tied to the letters and not to the sounds. Договор means
2 hours later.
I think a contract is the closest, so let's name it a contract. Alright. And let's go back to the list of exceptions, so it will be easy to perceive. Easier to perceive. There's 6 exceptions. They are kind of small. And 2 main rules for consonants. Being muffling and sonorification. And exceptions don't have names, they're just specific odd cases. For vowels, there are 3 main rules of reduction, because all vowels rules are connected to non-accent sounds, and 2 small exception and rules that are also kind of connected with consonants, but like 2 notes, 2 specific cases. And I think that is all. for the lore behind Cyrillic letters and their readings. Yay! Thank you for listening.